Hey, this is Jay from A Stitch in Time in Bemidji, Minnesota, and one of the beautiful features of the Pro Stitcher with Handi Quilter is the ability to lay out your entire quilt at the very beginning and then do one row at a time, and the machine will know how far you advance your quilt to do it the next row, but you have to do it the right way. And so I want to show you a quick way of how to do that, and I want to teach you a new word. It's a word you've never heard before because I just made it up. It's going to be D-A-R-D, DARD, okay? And it's going to stand for drag, advance, realign, and drop. D-A-R-D. And let me show you how this works. So if you look back at my screen here, I now have, you can see the first row is all golden. It's been all stitched already. And if you notice that if I pull my machine towards me, I cannot get down to the next row. This is something you should do at the end of every row to make sure you can advance, or that your machine can reach the next row, or you take a chance of jumping gears and losing your whole alignment. So I know I have to advance it, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a point on my quilt. I'm going to go down here and look for a point on here that is very identifiable. And so I'm going to put my laser dot right on that intersection, right where these points meet. I'm going to put it right on that point there. And now I am going to go up to my screen, and on the left hand side I'm going to press drag. Now if you notice that button immediately turns to green and it says drop, but that doesn't mean we touch it yet, because we still have two things we got to do before that. We have to advance our quilt, then realign and drop it. So here's what I do. I go back to my machine. I just pushed drag. Now I push the machine directly away from me as far as it'll go. And then I go to the end to advance my quilt. I'll release the two front halves, the two front, and I'll advance my quilt until that same point is almost up to my needle. Okay? Now I go back and I tension up my quilt and make sure everything's good. By the way, make sure you can grab one digit of your finger so you don't get it too tight. Now, so I already did the drag, I did the advance, now I'm ready for the realign. Now what I do is I put that laser dot back at that exact same intersection now. And now I go back to up to my screen, back up to my screen, and I touch drop. What it did is it knew how far I advanced it, and look what can happen now. Now I'm just going to move my machine over here, and I'm going to hit resume, and it's going to automatically move right where it needs to be, draw up my bobbin thread, and we're back off quilting. That's how easy it is. D-A-R-D. Drag, advance, realign, drop. And so it's very simple, but it's something that a lot of newbies always struggle with. But it takes all the work out of trying to measure how far you advanced it. That's it for today. See you in the next lesson.